B and C is what I'm thinking of, and only could be found in my Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time epic. Morning time epic, morning time epic. R-double-E-S-E-S, B to the U-double-F-S, R-double-E-S-E-S, B to the U-double-F-S.
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Kikbak on the track. I'm going to show you how I did the music for the new Reese's Puffs commercial. It's airing like crazy right now, too. First things first, you get a creative brief. That's this thing right here. It just shows you what's going on in the actual commercial, like once they start to shoot and everything. So it kind of gives us composers a heads up on what it's going to look like and the ideas that they have and the voiceovers and all that kind of thing. It's cool. But if you go up here, you see that this is Munchin Mayhem, and it says REV5. That means it's revision 5, so that means it's been revived like 5 times, or revised, my bad, 5 times from the original. That's nothing though, because I've heard of stories where, you know, sometimes it takes like 20-something revisions before they finally accept, you know, the final track or what have you. The thing with this track right here, they wanted something that was made out of breakfast noises, but hip hop. They wanted like a cool hip hop track made out of like percussive breakfast noises, like crunching, hitting the bowl with the spoon, cereal box shaking, that kind of thing. They also just wanted the track first, which is kind of weird because usually you get like, you know, you get a video first that they already shot and they want you to score music to it. In this situation, it was different. They actually just wanted a cool track first, and then they were going to shoot to the track and, you know, come up with something cool to the track already. So what I did with this is shout out to my dudes in New York, Eric and Colin and those guys over there, you know, because if you look here, right here, you see we got like you got the bag opening sound, you got the bowls, somebody beating on the box, slapping the box, cereal pouring. You get the idea. But that's let's do this. I'll open up a whole new in NXT, and then I'll open up a whole other file in there so you could see like exactly how I did it. So I just like kind of went here, and then I have all the sounds right here, and cereal sounds. I'll just go and I'll just open them all up so I can give you a demonstration like what I actually did. And then I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to do auto map zones. Oh, no, not that. It's actually chromatically. Yeah, there we go, right there. So if you listen, you can kind of barely turn it up. You can hear like the raw sounds. Gonna have some milk pouring right here. Boxes shaking. I don't know how good that sounds, but it sounds pretty good over here. Spoon hitting the bowl. Yeah, so stuff like that. So what I did is I took these sounds, right, and they're in this NXT right here. And what I did is I listened to them, and in the NXT, like if you look behind here, you see them all tracked out. Like I pretty much used like one NXT with all the sounds that I liked, and I chopped them in the NXT though, you know what I mean? So I just like if you look, you can see like the start and the end is where I manually chopped them all up. I didn't like, you know, some people like to put them out like on the grid and then see what you want and chop it from there. I just go ahead in the NNXT and look at the numbers and just chop them up in here. It's just easier for me because I'm used to it, like coming from an MPC. So what I pretty much did was just chop up what I wanted. I got some box sounds, like that. Cereal pouring that I like. Some milk pouring. The box shaking. Spoon hitting the bowl. And I pretty much like just made a track out of it. And let's see. Let me mute the re-drum bus. Okay. And this is just straight up percussive stuff right here. This
B, B, and C is what I'm thinking of.
Mute the verse. So yeah, so that's how I started it. Just with that. Just the percussion, and then I added let me mute this again. Then I added the actual, like, there's like a minor drums in there. They're just like really turned down. Just like one kick and like a clap, and they're really low, so you can't really even barely hear them, but we'll see if you can hear the difference. Yeah. So yeah, did everything in Reason right here, as you can see. Mixed everything. Look at my levels, matter of fact. Let's go check out. Like, see, if you look at my re-drum here, look, I keep it like halfway. It depends on how loud the sounds are that are in there, but I usually keep it like around right there. You just got to give yourself room, like when you're doing the track, so you can kind of like have room for other things. You know, you can't just start out and just have your drums just blasting. You know, they're going to be taking up all the room in the track. So I kind of like keep things like nice and even as I can. So if we go here, we could see like what I did like inside of the tracks. Like, let's say the chomping noise. It looks like I got a pulverizer on that and a delay. But actually, I didn't even end up using this chomp. That's crazy. I used a different chomp. Shout out to Kev. But on the box slap, this right here, we got a saturation knob. And then we got some Rough Rider action going on. And then we got a scream. And, you know, split it. And also with a little delay on it. So it's kind of like a... It's cool. And then if you look over here, you can see like how it's hitting on the meter. But I have like the mastering and everything on. Like if the mastering and the bus compressor wasn't on, it'll probably be around like this 8, between the 12 and the 8 right here. So yeah, that's just some of the processing stuff that I did. Let's see what else we got here. We got some milk pouring in a bowl. I didn't put anything on that. We got another box shake. Got a pulverizer on that, and also a Scream 4. A little processing. Pretty cool. It's a pretty simple track. It's really not too much going on. You know, it's 30 seconds, but, you know, it's knocking. You know, it's a hot track, though. You know what I'm saying? So, where's my synth? Oh, we got this synth right here. You hear it at the end a little bit. It's like it plays like a little melody. Do 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 do. That's that synth right there. It's pretty cool. It's a good synth. I like that refill right there. If you can figure out what it is. But here it is right here. I'm gonna open that up. Yeah, nothing too crazy going on in there. That's from a refill. I like that refill. If you could figure it out, you might want to go grab it. So, yeah. So this is what it sounds like as a whole. With everything. I'll put the vocals back in.
R double E S E S. B to the U double F S. R double E S E S. B to the U double F S.
Yo, also I use like if you hear when it goes puff 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 with the puff noise, where is it? It's like should be right here. I'm gonna try to see if I can where is it? See, should be right.
Peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time epic. Morning time epic. Morning time epic. Peanut butter chocolate.
Yeah, right here. This is what I'm trying to get to.
Reese's pop 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 pop.
You hear when it did that double repeat or the triple repeat? I actually used Pef's Buffery, of course, for that. Added a little flavor right there. That was a nice little drop. Yeah, like I said, not too much going on here. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope though. Proud of myself. Patting myself on the back for this. And where's the video? I have the video. Oh, here's the finished product right here. I'm gonna play it.
B and C is what I'm thinking of. And only could be found in my Reese's. Reese's peanut butter chocolate, great when separate, but when they combine, they make the morning time epic. Morning time epic. Morning time epic. R double E S.
An epic mashup of peanut butter and chocolatey flavor is a perfect combo, and it's only in Reese's Puff cereal, a delicious part of this complete breakfast.
Reese's.
Yo, that swirl noise, the FX, is just like a combo. Well, no, actually it's a Thor, but it used to be a combinator. But it just sounds like this. It kind of switches up, like, you know, with certain sounds, you know, like every time you play them, it does a little something different. This is kind of one of those sounds right here. But yeah, that's the effects right there that I used on there. So like I said, it's not really too much going on. Just like some breakfast noises, some box hitting, some cereal in the bowl, spoon hitting the bowl. Just made a nice track out of that, and then added like a little bit, you know, some little drums over it. Nothing too crazy, just a little something on top of that, just to give it a little bit of flavor. You know, I pretty much just put a little maximizer on it at the end, just to beef it up a little bit. And you got the bus compressor here going.
B to the U double F S.
It's not going too crazy. It's just right there between the, I say the 0 and the 2. Just right in the middle right there. Nothing crazy. But honestly, for this track, like, they actually remixed it anyway. Sometimes they do that, sometimes they don't, because a couple of my tracks, they'll just put them straight like as it is. But if they need to like cut it down, because a lot of these, like, okay, they'll do like a 30-second, but then they'll also do a 15-second, so they'll have to like cut the track. So a lot of the times, you know, I send stems anyway just in case, and sometimes they use them, sometimes they don't, or for the most part they do, but every now and then they don't. You know, they'll just take my straight 2-track because it sounds so dope. What else can I show you guys about this track? If you look up here, sometimes, like, a lot of sounds sometimes are just too loud. I've noticed, like in refills and just older refills especially. So I just cheat and use the gain knob just to turn it down, just to give me that, you know, give me some more space, because everything is just blazing hot. You know, you want to get some space. I just use the gain. That's a quick, easy way to do it. You know, some people might want to open up that combinator and turn down the master level in there, but you know, a lot of times I'm just in a rush. Not really in a rush, but you know, I'm trying to handle the business, so I'm just trying to do it and not be too time consuming about it. So this is the quickest way for me, you know, to turn stuff down. I just hit the gain knob on it. and it works out pretty well. Got a little bit of EQ going on over here, some gate action going on. Not too much. I'm gonna look at this rack because yeah, so I think that's it for now. This is part 1 of the only part. You know, I'll probably do another one with one of my other placements, maybe the Beyblade one or the Nerf Fire Vision. Thanks for checking it out. Kikbak on the track. Follow me on Twitter at Kikbak1. Follow me on YouTube. I'll follow you back. Peace.